Good afternoon and welcome to our Magic Webs radio show. I am Ping Restore and I'm interviewing today a very special guest. We have David Anthony, who is our systems consultant, and we will be talking about new web technologies and how it's affecting SEO and web development. So good afternoon, David.
Good afternoon, Ping.
Yes, very good. So this is a very exciting day for us. So, David, I have a few questions or topics here that I'd like to go over with you, if I may. And basically, I'd like to start about iPads and iPhones or iPods and all those handheld devices. How are these handheld devices shaping the way websites are developed or ought to be developed these days?
Well, that's a great question, Ping. Basically, we're now in the era of HTML5 and jQuery and all those wonderful tools. And if you're not actually considering those as great tools now, and if you're still using, for example, Flash in your websites, then people on iPads and iPhones are not going to be able to see what you're doing because iPhones and iPads actually don't allow you to actually see Flash. It's not built in by default.
All right. So does that mean that if a website is still running on Flash, that they are losing potentially a big handheld mobile internet community for their visitors?
Absolutely. Depends on which country you're in and what your markets are, of course. But, for example, in Singapore, it's a very high-tech area. Almost, one in three people now carry an iPhone, which is incredible. Now, basically, they're viewing websites on iPhones now. They're no longer using the desktops as much. It's iPhones, it's iPads. So if you go on the MRT in Singapore, everybody is playing with gadgets of some description. A lot of people are looking at websites. So specifically, Flash on those devices is non-existent. It doesn't work. And basically, that means you get a nice big square.
How about using a Flash plugin?
Well, basically, with Apple products, there is no plugin for iPhones and iPads. And there's some specific reasons for that, but basically because Adobe produces Flash, and it's a special product from Adobe. So, and because of that, it needs software it needs to be run on a software basis, which is very battery draining. So, Apple made the decision not to support it because it's not battery friendly, and it's also proprietary software. It's not open source, so there's certain problems with that. So, Apple basically don't support it. And so there's no plugins. There are for some other handhelds, other applications. Adobe has developed that, but certainly not Apple products, which is the majority of the market use that.
That's right. So it's really a closed story already between Apple and Flash right now. We can't do anything about that, and Apple has already ruled it out. They're not doing Flash. Okay. So what's your encouragement for website owners now, given that this is the scenario with handhelds?
Well, basically, HTML5 had a lot of new features. It came out in, I think, mid or late 2011, and upgrade from HTML4. And the beauty of HTML5 is that it's got a lot of capacity for built-in dealing with videos and animation elements. So there's a lot of built-in capacity to that. So a lot of web designers are now using HTML5 capacity to deliver advanced functionality. So with that and something what's called jQuery, which is just basically an upgrade of JavaScript, which is ages old. With that new technology, they can produce some amazing results. They don't need Flash. And it's faster, it's quicker, and it's more stable. So, for example, Flash is probably one of the few pieces of software that tend to crash Mac computers, for example. So there's instability issues with Flash. So they're done away with JavaScript because it's a stable, open source system, and it produces some great results.